So in comparison, we're using that now pretty much at some point as a direct box within a cue. So let's see how the clean sound compared to just direct what goes into the sound card for recording purposes. So what it is now, we have instrumental input in the sound card, and that's where it's plugged in. So just for comparison, because some people don't really understand the difference, how the input impedance relates to the quality of the signal and the actual tone. So this one is pretty much adjusted for the pickup impedance. So that way we got no EQs, no compression, no nothing. For a quick comparison, we'll hear the line input sound. It's the same sound card, different inputs. So that's what we get. So I'll plug between them quickly so you will hear the difference. As you can hear, the high end and mid range is kind of more pronounced. And I will disengage the effect pedal and plug in through this. And that's what it sounds straight. But still better than typical line input signal. Then I want to show you a couple more things which is kind of important to know about this. Returning back to outputs that we have over here, we have a Xlr output which gives out the line level signal, not the line, mic level signal. It can be sent direct to a soundboard while you're feeding through the 1/4-inch output. You can feed your big, huge bass rig that you have on the stage. There is an interesting thing over here that the pre and post knob button, which changes that it works exactly like a direct box. So the signal that comes through the microphone level output is not affected by the knobs on the top. Regardless of what you do, it's still going this clean signal to the soundboard. So that can be useful in the studio, for example. You're recording one signal straight from your amp and another signal straight from here to be able to play around later. Maybe you want to adjust something. Another way, if the knob button is disengaged, so all the changes over here comes through the mic output, mic level output signal. The second 1/4-inch output remains unaffected in this case. I mean, remained not changed comparing to the output, to the mic output. So basically, whatever you do, it's always changing through this output. There is another button which is called ground lift. On another funny thing, it works as a switcher for the power supply. Let's notice that this pedal can be powered in 3 different ways. One way is a battery on the back. Another way through the power adapter. It's typically for average pedal. Another thing, which I'm using right now, it can be powered through the phantom power. So there is no battery inside, and the power adapter is not plugged in. But while this button is disengaged, it practically activates the pedal from the phantom power. What is used for that? Sometimes I can tell you. If your battery goes down and you forgot for your gig, your battery, then you don't want to run another power cord to your to the front of the stage to run the adapter, all of the extra cables. So if you're feeding the signal direct to the soundboard, just ask the sound engineer to turn on the phantom power. Here you go, you got your power. Another thing which let's talk about negative parts, which does not really live to the expectations. So one of the features that explained in the manual provided by the with this pedal is the option to loop the signal through another effect from this output to this input. Doesn't really work. Since you cannot control the level of the signal send and return back, means wet, dry, it's pretty much create the sound loop, and it's just started feeding back. There is no way to adjust it unless your effect pedal has real knob, dry, wet knob, which absolutely disengages us. Otherwise, like for example, most of the Boss pedals, for example, they don't have absolutely wet signal. They still have it mixed. So that could prove some complicated to be complicated in concern of working with some of the pedals. Otherwise, the rest of the stuff was pretty fun. You already heard the sound, and I kind of enjoyed that. That worked really fine for me on gigs. The only one thing, again, which doesn't really work for gigs, due to the design of these knobs on the top, you cannot see the dot, this little dot over here. It always mixes up with the reflection of the lights. So pretty much to see positions of your knob on the stations, if you want to actually, you remember your settings, you try to readjust for another one, it's pretty hard to see. You pretty much don't see it. You have to play by ear. Otherwise, the sound is pretty good. Sounds pretty clean. And I played a couple of gigs. Feels really nice. So if you will decide to buy it, I hope you enjoy it. At least I didn't regret it. So have a good time. See you next time.